Hey, everybody. Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me, as always, are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hey, Rob, it's Diana.
And it's me, Jackie. We're together again.
Yeah.
Together, vaccinated together.
That's right. Everyone is
Been a
safely
long
here,
time.
back in the studio. We're, following the right precautions. We're all vaccinated. We're all watching our precautions when we leave the house, but we are all comfortable with recording in the same place again. It's been quite some time, but here we are. And we don't even have to be outside for this. How exciting. So we are ready to bring you the latest in behavior analytic research discussion, where every week we'll talk about a variety of topics related to the field of behavior analysis, our favorite field. Better than a field of barley or corn, we would say.
Or rye.
Or rye, yeah, it's the best field of all. And we will be discussing a whole bunch of articles this month here in April. Woo! But before we do that, let's do some kind of initial news. So this month is back to a normal-sized month. March went a little crazy. We had a ton of episodes come out in March. We also, in case you didn't get a chance to listen because you haven't joined us on Patreon, got to do our Neurotribes book club. I don't have the screen in front of me, so I hope you all can see
The book is here.
A copy of the book Neurotribes, which we discussed for many, many hours with just two on our Patreon feed. So for those of you on the regular feed, you probably are, if you haven't already, have a little snippet of the full 2+ hours of discussion of Neurotribes by Steve Silberman. So if you're interested in hearing the whole thing, well, why don't you go over to patreon.com/ABA Inside Track to get the full length episode, as well as a chance to get CEs for listening to a discussion of this really, really excellent book. I think we all had some very positive thoughts, some criticisms of the book, but a lot to discuss because it's a huge, huge book. So that happened at the end of the month. That came out right at the end of the month. But we're starting on April. And now that we're all together, we're going to be having some fun topics that we'll be discussing in person. And we'll also have some special guest episodes as well. So why don't we get into what we'll be talking about in the month of April on ABA Inside Track. So Diana, please, what are our topics this month?
It's my turn. Okay, so we have 3 topics for this month. Excuse me. And the first one that we're starting off, we're going to take it way back in the way back machine, back to same topic that we covered in episode number 1 of this show, which at that point we called it infant behavior. And this time around, we're talking specifically about tummy time.
Tummy time.
I've been saying tummy time. Okay, so it's actually, there's a fair amount of research looking at how you can increase tummy time for babies, and we're going to go over some of it. So we have 3 articles we're going to review. The first one is Effects of Activation of Preferred Stimulus on Tummy Time Behavior of an Infant with Down Syndrome and Associated Hypotonia by Boutot and DiGangi in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2018. After that, we're going to look at comparing the effects of varied and constant preferred items on improving tummy time for typically developing infants by Morea and Jessel. That was published in JABA 2020.
2020.
And then finally, Tummy Time Without Tears, the Impact of Parent Positioning and Play by Mendra Smith, Barrero, Castillo, Davis, Becraft, and Hussey Gardner, also published in JABA, also in 2020. So that's our topic number 1. And after that, I'm going to need the computer. It's all set up, I believe. So thank you. After that, we are going to cover the topic of LGBTQ diversity in the context of the applied behavior analysis field with our guest, Dr. Camille Morgan. And we have a couple articles to go over on that topic. The first one is Igniting Collective Freedom, an Integrative Behavioral Model of Acceptance and Commitment Towards Black Liberation by Denisa Jingles, just recently published in Behavior Analysis and Practice. So recent that it's still in the preprint version. And the other one that we're going to review for that episode is it's Martin Luther King's speech that he gave called The Behavior Scientist, and that has been summarized and published in Psychology Today magazine. So that's the 2 things that we'll be discussing with Camille. And then our last topic for the month of April is bringing us back around to the grab bag. We love doing grab bags. Hopefully you guys like getting a little smattering sample of new research that's out there. It's fun for us to find these articles. And we haven't done one since episode 144, I think, so it'll be 20 episodes later that we're revisiting the grab bag, but we felt like it was probably time. So we have 3 articles that we're going to review in the grab bag. The first is computer-based training to teach observers to accurately score problem behavior using fast forwarding at 5 times normal speed.
Rob.
Who knows whose article this is?
It's not mine.
It's by Machado and Luchinsky in Java 2021, baby. Next up, Making a Tiger's Day. Free operant assessment and environmental enrichment to improve the daily lives of captive Bengal tigers. And then we also get the official name for them in the title, which is Panthera tigris.
Ooh, I like that.
I know, I kind of like that was added in there for us. That's by Clayton and Schrock. Behavior Analysis and Practice, 2020. And then maybe if I click this. Oh, it worked. And then finally,
Good job, Grandma.
Okay, just as an aside, my son had my phone and he was looking at the search history and he goes, Mom, did you have to look up how to update apps on iPhone? It's like, no. Why are you looking at my search history?
Get out of there.
Okay. And finally, assessment and treatment of escape from attention in the form of conversation by Sanger, Claiborne, and O'Connor, published in Behavioral Interventions 2020. And that will round us out for the month of April, believe it or not.
But we hit all the behavior analytic journals there
bam,
for that grab bag.
Yeah, we actually really did.
Nice job. You guys are a real triad.
Yeah.
Good work, everybody.
Good job, team.
Good job.
All right, that's the scoop.
All right, so those are our episodes coming up in April, every week in April after this one. And now we're going to move into the errata segment of the show where we talk about anything that's left over, whether it's emails or feedback from listeners out there or just kind of some bigger news that we thought we needed to share. And we kind of already shared our Neurotribes Book Club episode that's out right now. So I think we covered that. That's the only news I think we really had to talk about. So why don't we get into maybe some emails? Jackie, do we have any emails to share this month?
Yeah, we have 2 emails, but before we talk about the emails, I want to remind people that the first ever BABA conference
Oh, yes.
is going to be in June, and stay tuned for some Facebook stuff because we got a little surprise, a little gift for everyone. In the form of something that's special to highlight the BABA conference. So just check the Facebook and keep on watching, or on the Insta.
Yeah, really trying to up my Insta game.
Yeah.
But I did have to Google how to update my apps, so
We'll see how good
we're
that-
working on it,
I've
guys.
been hearting y'all. Hearting.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Yes. But yes, we should have all of that info fully tamped down by the time this episode comes out. So please head on over there and check it out if you're at all interested in attending the BABA conference.
Yep, it's in June. June 2021.
Yeah. And it is virtual.
And it's virtual.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some emails. The first one is entitled Nerd Alert Fan Mail with lots
I already love it.
with lots of exclamation points. It's from our listener Lee, and she says,
Hi, Lee.
I just discovered your podcast, and I think I found my people. Same. She works at a school and home as a BCBA, and she likes our enthusiasm for behavior analysis. I bet you have the same enthusiasm for behavior analysis, Lee, as we do. And so she says, disclaimer, sometimes I even answer your questions or talk along with you. I would love to be there. I'll pretend with my little magic mirror, if you remember my throwback from CBC, where I'm like, I see you, Lee, in my magic mirror. Her husband heard the podcast one day and laughed and asked her if she was listening to herself. So that's pretty fun.
That's awesome.
So thanks for writing in. It's always nice for us to get those types of emails.
That's so nice. That was so nice of
thanks,
her.
Lee.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening. And then another email that we got was in regards to unrestricted hours. So listener Megan was curious if the BACB has approved our podcast for unrestricted fieldwork hours, or is it up to the individual supervisor? And what we say is that you should be reading the articles for the unrestricted hours with your supervisor, right? So your supervisor should say, hey, maybe you can listen to this podcast and read the articles, and the time that you read the articles counts as unrestricted time, as long as you and your supervisor are talking about it, agree with it, and do something with it that's directly related to your client. That's what we say about
exactly.
that.
So it is up to the supervisor, but given that the podcast is available for CEs, we think that that's the safest route to go.
Right. Yeah. And so that's all we've got round here. An email
I was just
land.
listening to that song today.
I was too. Samesies. It's because we were both cleaning. Counting Crow's cleaning crew. But anyway, happy April.
Yeah. So thanks for writing in. And if you have any topics that you want to have us review on the show, please let us know, because we keep a running list of those as well.
We actually got quite a few number of topics last month.
Yeah, we busted them out. So
Yeah. So thanks. We're looking the research up, figuring it out, spitting it out right back at you.
Well, all right. Well, that covers everything we need to for April. It's a short month. I feel like we don't need as much of a preview episode, and then we're also all here, which I think makes it go a little bit faster. So that's a big plus. So thank you so much for watching or listening to our little April preview, so you have a sense of what's coming out this month. If you're interested in following us anywhere else, there are a whole bunch of ways you can do that. Certainly you can find us on social media. We're at ABA Inside Track on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can find these videos posted on our YouTube page with the YouTube subtitling feature. If you'd rather listen, well, feel free to subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts, whatever floats your boat in that regard. If you have any fun ideas or thoughts, you can certainly email us directly at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. You can go to our website, abainsidetrack.com, where we'll have links to all of these articles, at least as best we can for some of our, the preprint or early ones, but somewhere you'll be able to find the citations, certainly, for listening ahead of time, or if you want to read them after you've listened to the episodes. And certainly if you want a little bit more ABA Inside Track, we would love it if you join us on the Patreon page, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. We're just $5 a month. You can join us for our bi-monthly social get-togethers. And if you'd like to subscribe at a higher level, you can get those extra long book club podcasts. We've got two done. I think we got 2 more to go in the rest of 2021, as well as discounts to the CE store. And some other fun stuff that we're always kind of cooking up. And you get the episodes a week ahead of time. So if you are on the Patreon, you already saw this episode. And everyone else, you're getting it now. It's the same content. It's just a little earlier. If you want to prepare for April at the end of March rather than prepare for April the first week of March.
We like to be
first
ahead.
week of April. If you want to be a little ahead, right?
And snacks. I like to pretend that we give you snacks.
The virtual
but we
snacks.
don't. Virtual snacks.
It's too hard to deliver them.
It's virtual, but we're there in spirit.
Yeah. Snacks.
Yeah. Well, and that wraps us up for another fun-filled episode. We'll be back next week with the first of our April episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye.
Bye.